Hi, I'm Rahul Anand. Today I will be explaining about the Apache Sqoop. Basically, what is Sqoop? Apache Sqoop is a tool designed for efficiently transferring bulk data between Apache Hadoop and external data stores such as relational database, enterprise data warehouse. Apache Sqoop is used to import data from external data stores into Hadoop distributed file system or related Hadoop ecosystem like Hive and HBase. Right, Apache Sqoop is a tool designed for efficiently transferring bulk data between Apache Hadoop and structured data stores such as relational databases. Sqoop can be used to import data or export data from a RDBMS such as MySql, Oracle, or Teradata or Postgres DB2 into HDFS. Sqoop automates most of this process, relying on the database to describe the schema for the data to be imported. Manual process would involve tasks like export data from RDBMS in comma or a tab-separated format, load the files into HDFS. Sqoop uses MapReduce to import and export the data, which provides parallel operations as well as fault tolerance. Right. Sqoop can be used to extract data from Hadoop to its ecosystem and to export it to external data stores such as relational database, enterprise data warehouse. Sqoop works with relational database such as Teradata, Netjar, Oracle, MySql, Postgres, etc. Sqoop, that is SQL to Hadoop and Hadoop to SQL. Sqoop is a tool designed to transfer data between Hadoop and relational database servers. It is used to import data from relational databases such as MySql, Oracle to HDFS, Hadoop, and export from Hadoop file system to relational databases. So if I see here on the left-hand side, we have a database like, sorry, on the left-hand side, we have a database like MySql, Oracle, Postgres, SQL, or DB2. So we use Sqoop tool to import or export data from RDBMS to HDFS. If we are going to extract data from RDBMS to Hadoop file system, then we call it as an import. And in Sqoop import is a sub is a Sqoop import is a attribute of a Sqoop. And if we are going to export data from Hadoop file system to RDBMS, RDBMS, then we use Sqoop tool, that is the Sqoop export. So if I talk about the import is done into two ways. So if I talk about Sqoop import, and this Sqoop import is going to be done into two ways. In the first step, Sqoop introspects the database to gather the necessary metadata for data being imported. The thing is that Sqoop will try to get the metadata from the MySql database, from particular database or different tables to gather the necessary information about the metadata. Based on the metadata, the Sqoop step is going to launch or submit MapReduce job to the cluster, and it is going to get the actual data. After gathering the metadata, then only the actual data transfer happens from the MySql database to HDFS, right? To the thing is that the user have to submit Sqoop job to the cluster, then only the Sqoop is going to import data based on the metadata to Hadoop cluster, that is HDFS. And if we want to export data, it is happens in the same way. The first step is to introspect the database for the metadata. The second step for transferring the data, Sqoop divides the input data split, data size, data set into splits, and then uses individual map tasks to push the splits to a database. You can see here on the right hand side, the command is going to be get executed by the user and is going to submit a Sqoop job. The Sqoop job to the map task, it's going to be only mapper task. Mapper task first going to check with the metadata for the relational database management system. Then it is going to, after looking into the, after getting the metadata, necessary metadata, it is going to launch the mapper task, and finally the data is going to get imported or exported from Sqoop to HDFS or HDFS to Sqoop. Sqoop import. The Sqoop tool imports individual tables from RDBMS to HDFS. Each row in a table is treated as a record in HDFS. All records are stored in text data in text files, right? And the command to import scope data from Sqoop is scoop space import, right? Import is a subcommand that instructs Sqoop to initiate an import. The Sqoop space import space hyphen connect your credential details, that is JDBC colon MySQL and the IP address. If you're working on a cluster mode of working on a fully distributed mode of Hadoop cluster, then you have to type your IP address where your MySQL database is stored. And if you're working in a pseudo distributed mode of Hadoop, then you have to type localhost, then your database name, from which database you want to import the data table based on the username and the password and the name of the table, and we are defining mapper one, right? Mapper one. So by default, in the scope job, by default the mapper number of mapper is 4. It depends, it's all relative. It's based on the input split size and the data size, the mapper is going to work. The import is the subcommand that instructs Sqoop to initiate an import. And connect string username password, these are the connection parameters that are used to connect with the database. This is no different from the connection parameters that you use when connecting to a database by a JDBC connection. Hyphen table name. This parameter specifies the table which will be imported. Similarly, if I talk about the Sqoop export, the export tool exports a set of files from HDFS back to RDBMS. The files given an input to Sqoop contains records which are called as rows in a table. Those are read and passed into a set of records and delimited with user-specified delimiter. If we are defining a Sqoop export, command is Sqoop space export space connect JDBC colon MySQL, your IP details, your database details, table name, export directory where your data is present in HDFS, your username and the password, and you're going to define schema like fields terminated by. Right? What are the fields terminated by pipe symbol or a comma separated file, or lines terminated by /n or /t, right? And this command, the various options specified are as follows. Export. This is a subcommand that instructs Sqoop to initiate and export. And if I talk about the connect strings, username, and the password, these are the connection parameters that are used to connect with the database. This is no different from the connection parameters that you use when connecting to a database via a JDBC connection. Hyphen table name. This parameter specifies the table which will be to be populated in MySQL. An export directory, that is directory path. This is the HDFS directory from which data is going to be exported. So the question is, why is Sqoop used, right? For Hadoop developer, the interesting work starts after data is loading to HDFS. Developer play around the data in order to find the magical insight concealed in that big data. For this, the data residing in the relational database management systems need to be transferred into HDFS. Play around the data and might need to transfer back to relational database management system. In reality of big data world, developers feel the transferring of data between relational database systems and HDFS is not interesting, tedious, but too seldom required. Developers can always write custom scripts to write data in and out of Hadoop, but Apache Sqoop provides an alternative. Apache Sqoop automates most of the process, depends on the database to describe the schema of the data to be imported. Sqoop uses MapReduce framework to import and export the data, which provides parallel mechanism as well as fault tolerance. Sqoop makes developer life easy by providing command line interface. Developer just need to provide basic information like source, destination, database authentication details in the Sqoop command. Rest everything is taken care by the Hadoop API, that is Sqoop API. How Sqoop works. Sqoop provides a pluggable mechanism for optimal connectivity to external systems. The Sqoop extensions API provides a convenient framework for building new connectors which can be dropped into Sqoop installations and provide connectivity to various systems. Sqoop itself comes bundled with the various connectors that can be used for popular database and data warehouse systems. Right, so they are the list of the commands that we can see in the lab how to list database using Sqoop. These tables: import table into HDFS, import table in a specified directory in HDFS, import all tables, exclude a table, select data to import in HDFS, AVL function to select and insert from MySQL, import data from MySQL to Hive, export from HDFS to MySQL. These are the basics commands of the Sqoop that can be used as a hands-on in the lab.